Welcome to Keep Pedalling. If you've been watching the Tour de France, you'll perhaps have noticed the cyclists as they cycle munching away on a piece of fruit or a protein bar, maybe nibbling at a chocolate bar or drinking water. But what you may not realise is it's so important for a cyclist to eat the right amount not only before and after, but during a big race like any stage of the Tour de France. On average, a cyclist in the Tour de France might burn something close to 6,000 calories on a flat stage cycling through the country lanes of France. But if they're on a tough mountain stage, for example, cycling up the Pyrenees, they might burn something nearer to 12,000 calories. One of the team chefs wrote these words: breakfast is very important, certainly when there's a mountain stage on the agenda. The riders eat more in the morning compared to the evening. During breakfast, there's muesli and warm oatmeal on the table, among other things. The chef also went on to say, I also bake 35 pancakes and about 20 waffles. The riders may choose how their egg is prepared. Unsurprisingly, there's also a big meal at the end of the day to recoup all the calories that are lost. And so a cyclist in the Tour de France needs to not only start and end the day with a massive calorie intake, but he has to ensure that he keeps eating throughout the stage. Eating and drinking is vital to the health of a cyclist in the Tour de France. The cyclist needs to keep eating and drinking so that they don't fall into a food deficit, which can do serious harm to their health. All that to say this, that we need to keep eating and drinking from the well of God's word so that we don't fall into a spiritual deficit which can do serious harm to our spiritual health. We need to keep our spiritual calories up so that we will be able to keep moving forward on the road that God has set before us. Psalm 1 reminds us of these words. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. By meditating, by eating and drinking from God's word, we will be like that tree which yields fruit in season. Just as eating and drinking is important for a cyclist in the Tour de France, eating and drinking from God's word is vitally important for us so that we don't fall into a spiritual deficit that can harm our spiritual health. Let's keep cycling, as it were, along the road that God has set before us.